Yo, ratings! This is garthrs, the tireless adventure with another episode of freaking, oh my god, Dreadnaught. Now, I had this entire block all the way up to this line right here filled with power reactor modules for a grand total of 2.7 million. And one of my commenters said that my power supply was inefficient. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to break it down and show them because, sometimes it helps to see it in action. So what I did is I removed 2,000 blocks just right there. Just two big chunks of 10 by 10 by 10. That was it. Just put the smallest dent in there. And then I started building this. And I got 800 blocks into this, and I'd already passed my my previous total. I was up to like 2.7 instead of 2.71. I was at 2.72, and I still had 1,200 blocks in my inventory. And I was like, hold on a second. And then I started thinking about it. That soft 1 million cap, I believe it's for the individual units themselves, the individual doohickeys, the individual groups. So that's what I started thinking. I was like, man, if that's the truth, then I could save so much freaking reactor modules. It's ridiculous. I mean, because I had just jammed in there. They were ridiculously all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the remainder of these, and then I'm going to build basically one of these things right here that cores all the way down into the smallest possible cube. So, or I'll just fill it up with a bunch of 5 by 5 by 5s or whatever, just basically to get the maximum amount that I can in optimized groupings to see if I can break the 2.72 million before I run out of blocks. And I think what's going to happen, I think it's going to happen. I think Melonhead Gamer is his name. I think he may have just saved the freaking day. I mean, just think about all these freaking reactor modules that I could use in other places doing other things. Oh my god, I just can't even believe it. Because I heard that, and the way I understood it was that once you reach that million cap on your vessel, then it no longer mattered. You were basically just wasting space unless you just jammed them in there. So I was like, okay, well, that's the way I understood it. So I'm going to test this theory, and you guys can get a special episode, and if I'm wrong, then I'll just spend the next freaking 3 hours putting all of them back. But I don't think I am. Now that I've gave it a test, and what I didn't give it a test, I go like, I'll show you, Melonhead Gamer. You don't tell me I don't know what I'm doing. I'll tell you, you don't know what you're doing. It's how we do things around here. I wasn't doing that. I was going to say, well, let me illustrate my point. And it turned out that I couldn't illustrate my point because somebody had illustrated it already for me in a much better way. So I was pretty upset about that when I saw it, because I don't know how much time I spent standing by the freaking factory building these stupid reactor modules. Oh my god, I wasted so much time. This is true. If Melon is correct, then he is the man, and I am an idiot. Well, I don't know if I'm an idiot, but I'm definitely not the smartest guy. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish removing all these, and then I'm going to basically fill this with legitimate groupings, squeezing as many as I can. The larger the grouping, the better. The larger the group, the better your power per block is, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So you guys sit back and enjoy whatever tunes I decide to slap on this. And for those of you who don't like nonstop dubstep, expect a little bit of other stuff here and there. Okay. All right. Did she say Daddy knock knock?
Knock, knock,
Who's there?
knock.
Knock who?
Knock on your butt.
Knock on my butt? What? 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 I don't even understand. Knock on my butt. You knock on your own butt. You're grounded for that joke. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to take a break from the speed build here for a second, just to give you guys my mentality. Now, there are a couple of facts about power that are pretty much indisputable. The more blocks that you have in your group that are conducive to a optimized grouping, i.e. they're not just like random blocks thrown whatever, the more power per block that you get. If you go into the Starmade wiki, there's actually a couple places where it breaks down the math of it for you, like you know, as big as 1,000 block groupings. It tells you how much each block gives you overall for the group. So, and the smaller the group, the more or the less you get from each individual block that you place in that group. So what I'm doing here is creating enormous groups that I can grow in the 3 dimensions. Because pretty much any block that you add that changes the dimension of the group is a good block. It's like right now, you see that this runs this way, and then it runs in, and then it runs up over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, when it gets to the end of here, this block is like whatever it is, this long by this long, and it's 1 high. But the instant that I do this, I have literally added 10 to that grouping's size. 10, like basically a huge amount. But they were talking to me in chat. I wasn't even watching. I'm such a horrible friend. But my brain is so wrapped around this right now, it's not even funny. I'm trying to work out as much squeezage as I can. As you can see from your from the side here, I'm already back up at 1.3, and I've only used like 7,000, 8,000 blocks. So now my brain is like blowed away, people. It is blowed away. I can probably go up 1 more on all these. So, like, if you go into your T for power, let's find the power blocking here. It's not T, it's structure. There we go. And we go to power recharge system. The total blocks I have right now are 14,133 in 147 groups. And each one of these module groups is identified right here. So let's just go to this one. Like this one has a recharge of 975. It looks like it is 23 by 56 by 90. Let's go to this one, which is literally a straight line. And you see how little recharge that got me? Like nothing. So that one right there, which is 29 long, which is probably one of these up front here, which doesn't really add anything to the equation. So if I go like this, bring that up. What's the structure tab? I forgot. Alright, so power, where was that one at? Was it that one? Yeah, there we go. So we'll go 20, let me write that down so I don't forget it. 20, neg 24, 102. And its dimensions are 0 by 0 by 28. So let's, and I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. So let's just go ahead and add a stack to each one of these. And that should handle all of that. So go back to T, back to structure, back to power, recharge system. We are looking for 20, 24, 20, neg 24, 102. So it went from 85, or it went from 55 or 29 up to 85, which is not bad. Now, what I was talking about with that soft million, and this is the way I understood it, the closer you get to a million, the less benefit you get per block. But just by simply yanking out 2,000 and putting them in, this formation right here, I was already back up to 2.72 800 blocks in. So effectively what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and squeeze as many of these blocks as I can in a proper grouping and see if that makes a difference. If it doesn't make a difference, no harm, no foul. If it does make a difference, man, I'm going to dance like you would not believe it. Like, because I'm going to use all kind of these power supply things on my base. That would be awesome. Like, I'm going to need them for the warp gates and everything anyway. So this is totally what I'm going to do. So, and I think I'm going to pretty much just call the episode here, and I'm going to go in after the fact here, and or after I get off the recording here, and then I'm going to totally add the dimensions to this. Now remember, these dimensions are the length plus the width plus the height. So they don't have to be in a T, it doesn't have to be in an L, it doesn't have to be in any kind of freaky little thing. Just to give you, I just want to undo. I give you a perfect example of an effective group. Like if I go this way, that increased its length. This increases its height. This increases its width. This increases its length again. This increases its width again. Height, width, width. This block right here does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. It doesn't increase its volume at all. However, if I came out this way, it increases its length again. And then I can come over. And this block, again, does nothing because the volume is still the same due to that one. So that's where your grouping's volume really comes into play. It doesn't have to be in a straight line. It doesn't have to be in an X, Y, or a Z, straight line. You could come off of it with something as simple as, where are you at? Something as simple as this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a 3x3 cube. And then you can come up like this, not like this. This. You can come over 1. And that is a separate, these are 2 separate groupings. This one looks a little phallic, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's dirty. We don't want no dirty stuff in here. So, and that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to squeeze as many groupings as I can in this area. And the reason I'm in lighten mode is because reasons. When I get down here, you can't even see anymore. You can't even see anymore. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all these shield units, and I'm going to fill the empty spaces with these shield suppliers and stuff like that. You want your power in blocks. You want your shields can be whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this up so that I can't possibly squeeze any more groupings in here. And you see how I'm going real slow about it? I need to make sure that I'm doing it in a fairly efficient manner, because Melonhead Gamer, I believe, is going to be right. And I know the return that I'll get for each individual block is going to be less, but at the end of the day, I can use fewer blocks to attain that same thing. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with this. Now these individual groupings, I'm blown away. Let's look at this power recharge. What's this one in the back? I want a high number on the back, on the front one. There's a neg 30, well, a low number. All right, 0063. This one is 63 long, and it gives me a recharge of 191. And that's probably one of, yeah, it's probably that one right there, which is 63. So if I were to add this one and finish this one out like I meant to in the first place, then it'll totally hook me up. Now you notice the return I'm getting, like something this size, a grouping this size, should have given me a massive amount of power. But it didn't, because reasons. Because the number you get from each individual block is reduced as we pass 1 million. So it may get to a point where just dropping them in a big block is just as effective as putting them in a grouping. And if we get to that point, that's fine. But I'm going to try to maximize this as much as I can. And I'm probably going to spend a couple of hours doing this tonight, because I got some recording set aside in the next probably 10 or 15 minutes, but I believe we'll stay up to about midnight working on this. I am definitely curious how this is going to turn out. And you're wondering why I put these here. Is after I run these over that way, I'm going to effectively do this on the bottom, and it's going to run down this way on the bottom and then come over to these sides. And that's the plan for now anyways. So we're gonna see how that works out. I just got to make sure that all of these are connected, because some of these groups are pretty stinking big. Structure again. Well, if you ever go to a screen and it's blank, just scroll up. That's all you got to do. Power supply. 7 by 45 by 17. The 7 is this height right here. 45 by 77. So 77 is the length of it, and then 45 is the width of it. And then 7 is the height of it. It gives me a recharge of 622. Yeah. This one's only 5 high or some crap. It's probably those little ones in the middle there. And you see how each one of these blocks is, if I just put it by itself, let's put it all the way in the back here so I can find it. So let's go. We'll look for the lowest 0 number that we can possibly get. Now each one of these blocks all by themselves is 140 power, correct? So let's just go ahead and go back into our power thing. Go to our power recharge system, and we're going to look for the highest neg number in the very beginning that we can find, or I guess the lowest, so it'd be like 34 or something. Negative 34. There's negative 31. What's this one? No, that's not it. That's way too big. It shouldn't be the forward one. It should be a negative number. I'm pretty sure it's a negative number on the very beginning here that I'm looking for. It should be like a high negative number. I got a negative 31, which is not what I was looking for. It's a negative 114. Let's see if that one's it. I don't think so. No, see, that one's 63 long as well. Negative 114. It should just be one block. It should be like 0, 0, 0. Pretty sure it's added in the bottom here. Yeah, look at that. A recharge of 1. That's what I'm getting, because I am so far past 1 million. So this one block, which is a dimension of 0, 0, 0, is 1. And if I just add a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and then go back to the structures tab, which I wish I knew the hotkey for that. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Now that's 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Oh, that's not it. 0, 0, 0. Where are those at? There's 6? That's not right either. Where are all these single blocks at? Oh, I know where they're at. They're somewhere else. But anyways, but you can see the return that I'm getting, the single block is only giving me a recharge of 1. And it should be giving me a great deal more than that. So just remember that it doesn't always equal what it should equal. I think the perfect example of that is one. Let me open up that wiki and I'll show you, or I'll tell you. So we have the recently closed tabs. Okay, this drives me crazy, man. Power Starmade. Yeah, Power Starmade. And we'll have to power reactors. This is Starmade wiki. No, that's not the one I want. I want the official wiki, which is Starmade PD or some junk like that. There we go. Okay, power capacitor rules. I'll give you a perfect example. In a grouping of 1,000, a legitimate group of 1,000. The power per block ratio, if I just built one 1,000, the power per block ratio is 1,003.5 block or power per block, with a total power of 1 million or 1.01 million. Two 600s does not, or a 600 is like 755,000. But if you built two 600s, you wouldn't get 1.4 million. You'd get like 900,000, because the amount you get from each group goes down the closer you are or past a million. So I'm testing this out. I'm in such a freaking good mood right now. I love testing. It makes me happy. So this comes up. Let's take our finger off the shift button so we're not flying around like crazy. And you guys go like have a sandwich or something and check back with me, and probably tomorrow, and I'll have the video up with the finals, and I'll show you how I put it all together and what I came up with and how many blocks I have left if and when I pass 2.72 million. Once I pass 2.72 million, there's those 1 blocks right there. I was wondering where they were. Yeah, but once I pass 2.71 million, yes, I'll come back and I'll tell you exactly how many blocks I have left out of that initial how many ever I had in my inventory. And you guys will probably be just as excited about that as I am. Now this does present a little bit of a delay as far as building goes, but in all honesty, I would rather build an effective ship that is efficient than a inefficient ship that is less effective than it could be.
That doesn't make any sense, Garth. You shut up, it does too.
Anyway, yeah, you guys go freaking eat your sandwich, drink a Dr. Pepper. Not that I freaking want you to drink Dr. Pepper. It's just a random drink that I chose. This show is not sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's not. I'm not saying I wouldn't take money, because I like Dr. Pepper. I would totally endorse Dr. Pepper because they would pay me to tell the truth. Yeah. So totally drink Dr. Pepper. Get out of town. I prefer Diet Dr. Pepper, but that's just me. Being a weirdo. Alright, so you guys get out of town. Seriously. God, just keep hanging around. I'm trying to get rid of you. You're not listening!